Welcome to Astronomy Daily, the podcast that brings you the universe one story at a time. I'm Avery.
And I'm Anna. It's great to be with you. Today, we'll be talking about some significant delays for NASA's Artemis moon mission, a very busy week of launches around the globe, and a new satellite that's keeping a close eye on our planet's oceans.
Plus, we're diving deep into the early universe to visit a superheated star factory, and then coming back to low Earth orbit to update you on a rescue mission for the crew of the Tiangong space station. Let's get right into it, starting with the moon.
What have you got for us, Avery?
All right, first up, some challenging news for lunar exploration enthusiasts. It looks like NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which is supposed to land the first astronauts on the moon since the Apollo era, is likely facing a major delay.
That's right, Avery. A new government report suggests a more realistic target for that landing is now 2028, not the original 2026 goal. The primary reason comes down to the development of SpaceX's Starship, the massive vehicle chosen to be the human landing system.
Right, so it's all hinging on Starship being ready to fly. What's SpaceX's own internal schedule looking like?
Well, their internal targets are ambitious, but they also point to a later date. They're aiming for an uncrewed Starship lunar landing in June of 2027, followed by the crucial crewed mission in September of 2028.
A 2028 landing, that really changes the rhythm of the whole Artemis program. The Apollo missions had a much faster cadence, building momentum with each flight. This means longer gaps between Artemis 2, the lunar flyby, and Artemis 3, the landing.
Exactly. And it's not surprising when you look at Starship's development. It's been a mixed year of test flights. We've seen some incredible successes, like reaching orbital velocity, but also some spectacular failures, or as SpaceX calls them, rapid unscheduled disassemblies.
It's a hugely complex vehicle. It's designed for complete reusability, which is a game changer, but there's still some massive technological hurdles to overcome.
That's the key. One of the most critical capabilities they still have to prove is orbital cryogenic fuel transfer. That means refueling Starship in space, which is essential for the trip to the moon and back. It's never been done on this scale before.
So while a delay is disappointing, it underscores the sheer difficulty of what they're trying to achieve. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. We'll be watching those test flights very, very closely.
Okay, from future launches to current ones, it's an incredibly busy week on launch pads around the world.
It really has. Let's start with SpaceX, who are planning a staggering 5 Falcon 9 missions this week alone.
5? What are they sending up?
The manifest includes 4 separate missions for their Starlink internet constellation, continuing to build out that global network.
Of course. And the 5th?
The 5th is the Transporter 15 rideshare mission, which is always exciting. It's like a cosmic carpool, carrying dozens of smaller satellites for various customers into orbit on a single rocket.
Right. It's not just SpaceX, though. China is also having a busy week.
That's right. China is planning 3 rocket launches of their own, but perhaps the most dramatic launch is their upcoming replacement Shenzhou 22 spacecraft, which is headed to the Tiangong space station. We'll have more on why that's so critical in a bit.
Okay, intriguing. And there's another player getting in on the action too, right?
Yes, South Korea's private company InnoSpace is set for the maiden flight of its hand-built nano rocket. It's always a big moment to see a new launch vehicle take to the skies for the first time. So a truly global week for spaceflight.
And speaking of launches, one of those recent SpaceX flights carried a very important passenger for us here on Earth. NASA and SpaceX successfully launched the Sentinel-6B satellite.
This is a fantastic mission. Sentinel-6B is the latest in a series of satellites dedicated to monitoring Earth's oceans with incredible precision. It's a crucial tool for understanding our climate and weather here on Earth.
So, what exactly is it measuring from orbit?
It's providing a stream of vital data. Primarily, it measures sea level rise down to the millimeter, but it also tracks ocean surface wind speeds, wave heights, and even collects data on atmospheric temperature and humidity.
Wow, that's a lot of information, and it has very direct, practical applications.
Absolutely. This data is fed directly into models that help with flood predictions and improve hurricane forecasting. For coastal communities and vital infrastructure, that information can be life-saving.
That makes sense. Knowing the exact height of the sea and the intensity of a storm surge is critical.
Exactly. And it's a great example of international cooperation. Sentinel-6B is a joint effort between NASA, the European Space Agency, EUMETSAT, which is the European Operational Satellite Agency, and NOAA, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
A global team for a global problem. A really important mission.
From watching our own planet to peering back to the dawn of time, astronomers have made a fascinating discovery in the early universe, finding a galaxy they've nicknamed Y1.
And when you say early universe, how early are we talking?
We're talking very early. This galaxy was observed as it existed just 800 million years after the Big Bang. The universe itself is about 13.8 billion years old. So this is like seeing a picture from the universe's infancy.
Incredible. So what makes Y1 so special?
It's what astronomers are calling a star factory. This galaxy is producing stars at an absolutely furious rate, about 180 times faster than our own Milky Way galaxy does today.
180 times. That's hard to even comprehend. How is that possible?
That's the big question, and Y1 is providing some new clues. The key finding is that the vast clouds of dust within this galaxy, the raw material for stars, are superheated. They're much warmer than the dust in other comparable galaxies from that era.
So, a superheated stellar nursery. What does that tell us about how galaxies grew back then?
Well, it could help solve a long-standing puzzle. Observations have suggested that early galaxies appeared to have more dust than our theories can account for. This discovery of a superheated region of intense starbirth might be the missing piece, explaining how these galaxies could build up their mass and their dust content so rapidly.
So, Y1 could be a blueprint for how galaxies like our own got their start. What a find!
And for our final story, let's return to low Earth orbit and that Shenzhou 22 mission we mentioned in the launch roundup and yesterday. This isn't a routine crew rotation, it's a rescue and resupply mission.
Right, so what happened? Well, to recap, the Chinese astronauts currently on the Tiangong space station have been left without a ride home.
That's the situation. Their original Shenzhou 20 spacecraft, which was docked to the station to serve as their lifeboat, was damaged by a piece of space debris, resulting in a cracked window. It was deemed unsafe for re-entry, effectively stranding them in orbit.
Wow, so the Shenzhou 22 is their new ride.
Yes, that's right. And full credit to the Chinese authorities who have prepared Shenzhou 22 in record time for an uncrewed mission. It was originally scheduled to lift off in April next year on a regular crew rotation. But they now have it ready and are targeting November 25th, which is next week. Incredible. So the Crew 21 astronauts have to hang on for a few more days. But fortunately, they are well supplied and in no immediate danger.
Is Shenzhou 22 carrying anything else?
Yes, it's also carrying essential supplies for the crew and the station, but its primary mission is to provide a safe return vehicle for the astronauts.
This feels like something we've heard before. It's the second time in just 2 years that a crew has been stranded on a space station after their ride home was damaged.
It is. The previous incident involved Russian and American astronauts on the International Space Station. It really highlights a growing concern, the need for a dedicated international space rescue service.
That makes perfect sense, but that would require cooperation between all the major spacefaring nations, including the US and China.
And that's the major roadblock. Current U.S. law, often called the Wolf Amendment, severely restricts bilateral cooperation between NASA and Chinese state-run space entities. So while an international rescue framework is a logical step for astronaut safety, the geopolitical reality is incredibly complicated.
It's a stark reminder that as more people and hardware go into orbit, the risks from space debris are only going to increase, a problem that definitely needs a solution.
And that's all the time we have for today. We covered the potential delays for Artemis 3, a jam-packed launch schedule, a new eye on our oceans, a stellar factory in the early universe, and a crucial rescue mission in orbit.
It's a universe of wonders and challenges out there. Thanks so much for joining us on Astronomy Daily. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode.
Until next time, keep looking up.
Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.